Naldo, I'm really happy you're my friend because I've never really been good with people. Even as a kid, my imaginary friend would always play with the kid across the street. Let's get the show rolling. You're not laughing. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gandhi, with me, my partner, Naldo, who did not like my joke about being a loner. Did you have an imaginary friend as a kid?
I didn't, or maybe I did, and I just can't remember. Damn
Oh,
you, if
yeah. Oh, yeah.
you
John
know what I
Krasinski
mean.
got us.
I
That's
don't, I
true.
don't
It's true.
know. What's up, man? What's going on?
Just ready to talk about a movie that we saw that's new.
Brand new, yeah. I like it. I like
Week
when we do
old.
new movies. All right, let's get into it. The movie is If, the brand new movie by director John Krasinski, aka Jim Halpert, with a slew of character voices in it, just a ton. With the one standing out to be his former coworker, Michael Scott, Steve Carell,
Yes,
which
Mr.
is
Steve Carell.
fantastic. Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah, a lot of voice actors. I felt like I was doing that for most of the movie, just trying to figure out who was who. I didn't do too well. I think at the end, I was like, oh, that's who that was. Okay. So
Yeah.
we also get Louis Gossett Jr. in one of his probably final performances, which
Yeah.
I feel bad. I mean, I'm glad he was working, but like it wasn't a great role, part. I don't
I
know.
I mean, if they're gonna portray Louis Gossett Jr., I mean, what better way than this bear behind us? So, I mean,
Sure.
it fit. It was perfect. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
kids don't know who this guy is, but we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So it worked. Man, this movie, I'm sorry. I know this movie is supposed to be a lot of heartfelt moments. I feel I was confused in this movie, not because it was hard to understand. I don't think this movie knew what it wanted to be. It was marketed as a kids' film, but at the same time, there were kids in the theater and no kid was really laughing for a while. There was a lot of heartfelt, deep moments that kind of just kids didn't get. So I was kind of on the fence on this movie.
Yeah, it definitely did not know what it wanted to be because it was marketed as a kids movie, and yet there's not a lot of fun in this movie, which is weird to say when you've got, a big purple monster and animated figures and a host of imaginary ideas and things happening. It is way too serious. It almost takes itself too serious. Like
Yeah,
you're hit with the Disney brand of like, we're going to kill a parent of this child in the very beginning of the
right.
movie. And that's how the setup goes. And then after that, you're hoping that there's joy and laughter, but there's a lot more sadness to come.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the movie Up, you're right. You get that
Sure.
moment, those first 10 moments of Up, which were just amazing. But then it becomes lighthearted and it's enjoyable, especially for the kids. This
Right.
just kind of held on to that moment and it just never really let go of it.
Yeah. And I, I don't know. I appreciated I guess the story that they needed to reunite these ifs with their people. But when they
Right.
do reunite them, nothing really happens. So like they don't
Mm.
go back to being with their person. It's like their person remembers them again, and so that's okay, and that's all they wanted. I was confused by that aspect. Like I thought that they were trying to reunite or find them a new child, but instead they give them another moment with
Right.
their person,
Yeah.
their child as an adult, and then that's just kind of the resolution. And that was a little confusing to me. I also look, there's a great cast of people in this, and Ryan Reynolds is one of them, but I'm slowly leaking my love for Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Reynolds. Like he doesn't do anything in this movie. He's just Ryan Reynolds. He's just Ryan Reynolds reading a script in his head and being
Sure.
himself, and he's likable. He's so likable, and you don't ever have a problem with him necessarily, but he doesn't do anything for me in this movie. This movie didn't really do anything for me. It's kind of just
Yeah.
there, and it was fine. It was done well. It's very well crafted. John knows what he's doing, but it just kind of fell flat for me.
Yeah, I think the problem with Ryan Reynolds' character was that, I mean, you knew right away that he was supposed to be somebody. You just didn't know who he was, right? It almost had that sixth sense type of feel, like you know that nobody's really seeing him, but she's
Right.
seeing him, but you're wondering who he is. So
Mhm.
it had that feel to it. I really love the moments between the little girl and John Krasinski or her dad. Those
Her
moments
dad.
were really great. But I don't know. I don't know if I blame Ryan Reynolds with this. I just don't know what he was supposed to do with this character. He was supposed to be mysterious, and somehow he became the ringleader of all these ifs, and his job was to find a home for them. Which at the same time, I don't know how this Louis Gossett Jr. teddy bear was also one of the main guys. I was just confused. I didn't fully understand that part.
Yeah, there's a lot of ideas and not a lot of fleshed out,
Yeah.
answers. It's here's a retirement home, and we want to
Yeah.
start auditioning ifs that we can take out into the world, and we try it on this kid who also is not a really great actor. Cute kid, the kid in the
The
hospital, but just I don't know, like
the girl? The
no,
little
no, no,
girl?
the
Oh,
the
the little
little
Asian
the
kid.
little boy, yeah, in the
Oh, he
hospital,
was funny.
he's
He was
fine. He's
funny.
fine, but like
Oh,
it's not
okay.
a there weren't a lot of memorable moments in this for me that like I was like, wow, that really blew me away. Like
Okay.
even the musical number felt weird,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
awkward. Like, did we
Yeah.
need this? Like, is this just an excuse to show dancing skills? Like the girl was fine. I don't know that I've seen her in anything, and she was fine. Everyone was fine in this movie, and that's the thing is I think that at the end of the day, the movie was just kind of fine.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I like the little girl. My, I think one favorite scene in the whole movie was when she was talking to her dad and and she was in the he was on the bed and he was in the hospital and she was just talking to him and she was just breaking down. I was like, oh, I'm kind of feeling something here. But other than that, the movie's just there. It'll make you smile, but it's pretty deep. I don't know if it's I mean it's labeled for kids, but I didn't hear any kids really going, yeah, this is great or laughing or nothing like that.
Yeah, no, and I think
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why it hasn't been very, very successful. I don't know a lot of parents who are like, let me rush out to show my kids a story about losing your imaginary friend, losing your parent. Like it just
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's kind of a bummer. And you're like,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
they leave, right? They leave and the imaginary friends stay there, and John's better and they head back to, wherever they were living back, I guess in what they were in New York City. I don't know if they even really explained where they were living, but did they leave all the friends? And so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so is that the point? Like we all grow up and you just have to let them go, but you can have one more good adventure with them?
Yeah. It's like Bing Bong. Bing Bong from Inside Out. It's kind of like
That
that. I feel like
oh,
it took a lot of, yeah, a lot of Pixar moments from this. It
talk
just
about
wasn't
Bing
done
Bong.
very well. So,
Yes,
uh,
yeah,
yeah.
valid. I think we should rate it because I don't really
Let's
have
rate it.
a lot else to say.
Yeah. Let's rate it. Okay.
How many ifs are you going to give this movie?
1 to 5. One if being really bad, five ifs really going just an amazing movie. I'll go first. So I really, really wanted to like this movie. I really did. It's not like I had a bad time, but I didn't have a great time either. I was just there eating my popcorn. I had a smile, some good moments. I'm gonna go with, uh, I, I'm gonna go with a 3 because of the heartfelt moments. Um, I definitely think people should check it out, especially if you're older. No, it's not for kids. You can take your kid, but your kid's not really gonna enjoy it, I don't think. So I'm gonna go with a 3. A very low 3, by the way. It just made it into the 3 category.
I think I'm dead on with you, man. I had it at a 3. I'm going to stick with a 3.
Yeah.
Three ifs. It was just another one of those movies where like it happened. It was fine. I was entertained while I was there, but I just don't know that I'll put it on again. And I don't know that it was
Yeah.
memorable enough that I'm like, hey, everybody, you should go out and consider watching this because just, what if you didn't?
If what if we did it? Yeah.
Ah.
So maybe we're just old and we just forgot our ifs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if there's an imaginary friend of mine out there watching, please tap me on the shoulder and make me remember you because, could
Mine too.
happen. Who knows?
Because I need my ifs
Maybe they're
sometimes.
invisible and I've just been stepping over them like Keith. So
Uh,
that
all
was the
right,
best
we
part of the
got
whole movie. Keith was
yeah.
probably the best part of the whole movie. The invisible friend. Loved it. That was John's imaginary friend at the end.
That's
I
right.
loved it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was, other than that, yeah. No, kind of a forgettable movie. So
Yeah.
what's not forgettable is our fans. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you tuning in, watching another review of FYC. I've been your host, Gagne, with me, my partner, Naldo, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good one, everyone.